We are learning QA fundamental, and today we'll see database, SQL, NoSQL concept, and then we'll deep dive on the MySQL. We'll see the DDL commands and DML commands. So this, for all of these database topic, it may take around 10 to 15 videos, uh, 10 to 15 short videos maybe, or maybe a little bit more or less, but we'll try to learn this thing, and this is the one of the biggest topic here. So let's try to understand what is this database. Just try to learn some theoretical concepts, and then we'll set up the environment today for the MySQL, and then we'll go from there. So that when we say the database, if you have not heard this name, database is used to store the data. For the example, if you go to the Facebook or any site over there, and if you create the user, so that's your data. Like when you create the user, you have to give your name, password, you have to give many details, address. So all data, and we need to save that data somewhere. So for that we use a database. So database is a different application that store the database, and it also gives the security on the database. So there are different kind of database. We say there is a SQL and there is a NoSQL. So what is the SQL and what is the NoSQL? What is the difference between these? Both are, both store the data, but in the case uh, where, like, you see that okay, data is growing, then in that case we need the NoSQL. If there is a huge amount of data, and that's the data grows every day, so the nature is growing, so in that case we need the NoSQL. And the SQL is a different scenario. You see that okay, we know that how big the data can be. If we can predict that, in that case also we can consider SQL. Again, there can be another criteria choosing whether we choose SQL or NoSQL. Like for the fast performance, like if you want to have the fast performance, in that case NoSQL is also preferred. So let's see some of the, like, first see like what is the database, some knowledge on this. So if you say like what is database, is saying a database is an organized collection of structured information or data typically stored electronically in a computer system. A database is usually controlled by database management system, DBMS. So that's the definition. If you see the SQL, or first see some database name, like name database. uh, yeah, so popular databases, 10 most. So this is the database: MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, Oracle, Redis, SQLite, Elasticsearch. So when you go for the keyway, you have to familiar with database, at least database concept, and based on that you may need to test data in a database, yeah, with a different scenario. So this is the some of the database name, and if you look for like SQL vs NoSQL, then you can see some of the difference here. Yeah, so SQL database are vertically scalable, with while no SQL database are horizontally scalable. SQL database are table based, while no SQL database are document key value graph or wide column stores. SQL database are better multi-row transactions, while no SQL is better for unstructured data like document or JSON. So when you say this term like vertical scalable, we can in this case we can just take an example like the Oracle. Oracle is a SQL database, and in a Oracle there is some space. We know how much data you want to store, and if the storage like full, then we can add additional storage over here on the same database server. But in that case we may need to stop the server. That can happen. There is a possibility for that also. That's called vertical scaling. If you say the horizontal scaling, there is a no SQL database. In a no SQL database, like let's say MongoDB or DynamoDB. So that's some few names for the no SQL database. And if you want to add like more store, you can add more node over there. So that's advanced concept for now, but I want you to get familiar with some of the database. So like let's say one of the like no SQL database list. Like we want to know no SQL top, or you can say top 10 no SQL databases. Popular no SQL data: MongoDB, Apache Cassandra, Redis, Apache CouchDB. So these are some of the no SQL databases. So we also at least we know the name of the no SQL databases, and also we know name of the SQL databases. But we can understand this concept. This is advanced concept. We can learn later. But at least let's try to get familiar with SQL database. And for the SQL database, I take an example for MySQL now. So let's set up the environment for the MySQL, and we try to store the data inside this. We create the table, so we run some DDL command, DML command. So now just we'll try to install MySQL. So there are different version of MySQLs, or for any databases there are different versions. So if you install MySQL in your local, yeah, that's also possible. We can search in a Google. You can install the MySQL in a local, and when you install the MySQL, there we install the specific version of the MySQL. And in a QA, you may need to test different kind of the MySQL versions. You need to test the data of the different MySQL versions, or maybe different Oracle versions. So you may face that kind of scenario. Then it's very difficult to have different kind of MySQL installed in a local. If you install one version of MySQL, and if you want to install another version, you have to uninstall the previous one. So that kind of the problem we can face many times. So the solution is the Docker. So Docker is the solution. Using the Docker, you can install different kind of MySQL, different version of the MySQL, and it's very easy to play with a different version of MySQL. So nowadays, developer or the QA, they more focus on this containerized based applications. So the Docker is called containerized based application. So you can install Docker desktop in your local. Like if you search for install Docker desktop Mac, you can follow the steps and you can install Docker. So I have already installed the Docker in my local. So if you see this kind here, like on the top here, if you see the Docker desktop is running. So if you install the Docker, you will see this. and and if you install successfully and if it is not running, then from your keyboard you can press control or the command space, and then you can type docker, and if it is already installed, then you can click and it will start running, and you can see this here, this icon you can see saying the Docker desktop is running. So that is the one thing we need to install Docker. Okay, so first install this, and the another thing I want to install is MySql Workbench. So the MySql Workbench, in a similar way, you can go here and you can say, okay, install MySql Workbench in Mac or Windows, whatever system. But you can see and you can follow this steps, and you will be able to install successfully. And once you install the MySql Workbench, then you will see this icon here, MySql Workbench. Or after installation, you can do like this, MySql Workbench, and click there and it will open. So in order to run this SQL, MySQL, we need to install these two things. So this is the two prerequisites, and then you can do easily. That's a very easy thing. Just click and it will get installed. So okay, so the Docker is done, and this MySQL installation is also done. So we are good with this. Okay, so next try to run this MySQL instance in the local. So how will you do? So first we'll go to the Docker Hub. We'll search like Docker Hub here, and you will see the Docker Hub container image library. Click on here, and here you can search MySQL. So just enter, and I can see the MySQL here. I'll click here, MySQL, and it will give me information. I'm going to utilize this information, and then I will run this MySQL in my local. So I'm going to use some version 8.3.0. so I will copy this command here. It's saying starting a MySQL instance here, so I'll just copy whole things and come to the terminal. First I will check the command docker ps if there is any something is running. Okay, so there is already running here, so I'll just remove first, or docker stop whatever the instance is running. I'll stop this, docker rm, I will stop, and then I can remove this instance. So Docker is a different topic. Again, we have to learn a lot, but here we are learning the few commands for the MySQL. So just we are good, for that. If you want to learn more, you can explore about the Docker also. But for now, I just use few commands. Something was running, I deleted, stopped, and deleted. Now I'm going to copy these things, this line, and I'll go and paste it here, and this will run. This command is running Docker, and this is running successfully because this Docker is running in the background. Docker desktop is running. That's why we are able to use this command. Okay, so this time I'm going to install this image for the MySQL. So here I have to give docker run and MySQL. This name I'm just putting some MySQL, and the password is MySecret PW. MySQL and tag is you have to put which version of MySQL you need. So like there are different version of MySQL, so I'm going to put 8.3.0, or I can say the latest. So latest, whatever is the latest that I can install, or if I want to go for a specific version, then I can put 8.3.0. For now I will just say tag is latest. Okay, so with the help of Docker, uh, we are able to run the MySQL. So go to the MySQL here, and whatever we were running, first see that, like, let's run the command docker ps. So when I do the docker ps, it's saying MySQL latest, that is the image we're running, and the name of this container is some MySQL. So let's go inside this Docker. So actually, this is another OS, and under that OS MySQL is running. So let's go inside that and create the database. So I will go inside this container. Then for that there is a command docker exec, and then it, then I can give this name, and then I can say bin sh. If I do the enter, I can go inside that container, and inside that container MySQL is running. So I will go to the, now I will go to that application MySQL. So this is the command MySQL, and the user I can give user is root, it's a default user, and the password after p there's no space, and I'll give the password, and the password is here my secret pw. So my hyphen secret pw. And if this is the first time for you, like, about this Docker or MySQL, and if it's not making any sense for now, just keep what I'm doing, and then when you run the commands again, it makes sense for you later also. Okay, so I run this, and now I'm inside this MySQL, and if I show here, like, show databases, so there are few database here. I'm going to create a new database, so like I can say the create database, and database name is, let me think on this. Okay, I can say just database name is empdb, and we'll use this database, and we'll create the table inside this, and then we'll see all the MySQL commands, semicolon. So database emdb is created, so databases, so you can see empdb is here. Now same thing, we can see through a MySQL workbench. So let's use this MySQL workbench. And in a MySQL workbench, you will see a MySQL connection, so you can create here plus, and you can say here empdb MySQL. So we're going to connect, so whatever the name you want you can give, and the default port is 330, and you can put the password, and password is my hyphen secret hyphen pw. Let's try to connect this. Okay, failed to connect. So there is one thing I forgot. There is something we need to expose the port outside this 3306, and I forgot, so I'm going to redo this once again. So come out of here, and what I'll do the docker ps, and this instance is running for the MySQL. I will stop this docker stop, and that's exactly what I did in the beginning. So that's also I wanted to show you here. So stop this, then remove docker rm. So in this way you can install the multiple version of the MySQL, and whatever time, whenever you think, okay, I don't want that specific version, you can get rid of that. Okay, so that's good. I can check docker ps and there is nothing. Okay, we have not installed anything. Now let's create the MySQL container once again. So I know the command we run previously. This is the command we run, and here I'm going to add some additional thing. Port, for the port I'm saying 3306 and 3306. I will give this so that you know why I'm giving because internally this is a port. I want to expose this port outside, and that's why this MySQL workbench can utilize this, and whatever we can do with the terminal we can do with the MySQL workbench. So this is very helpful when we use the MySQL workbench. It's very easy to visualize all the data. So that's the one thing I change here, you know, compared to this one of these lines suggested in a Docker Hub. So I just added one additional thing here. Enter this. It's created docker ps. You can check docker ps and some MySQL that is running. Go inside this. So docker check it, and this name is some MySQL, and then bin sh, and we'll do the MySQL user. So user is root, and then password is my secret pw, and create the database. Create database. It's a empdb colon. Now come to MySQL workbench here again, and whatever name you want you can give here, 3306. This time I'll try to connect and it should be successful. Okay, continue anyway. The connection is successful. Okay, that's okay here, and then I can click here, double click, and this opening, continue anyway. And if you click on the schema, you can see the empdb, whatever we created our database, we can see here empdb. So the next thing is there is no tables, but next thing is we'll create some tables. We can create from this terminal, we can create from here, and we'll visualize the data, and then we'll explore the further things. So that's all for today. So today at least we learned some theoretical concept. Also we learned, you know, how to set up the environment for the MySQL, and this is done, and the next we'll explore the commands. Thank you.